everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Character. My name is jordan-paige. I am the show creator and host, and I am so happy that you're here today, so thank you for watching. If you like what you see here today, please consider clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can know when we post, and you can also follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. This week is the very first week that we have two guests, a writing team, on at one time. And not only is it the first time we have a duo, but they are actually also our very first international guests. Their names are CHRISTIN HELMBOLD and SAVANA Thompson. So without further ado, I'm going to read you both of their bios, starting with CHRISTIN's. CHRISTIN HELMBOLD is a trained screenwriter with German blood, a Swedish soul, and a burning passion for creating thrilling ideas for film, TV, books, and games. After she completed her BA in script writing for film and TV at Dalarna University in Sweden, she graduated in writing for film, TV, and games at Vancouver Film School, where she specialized in games and where she was trained in both script analysis and editing. Her leading trademark is to give powerful animals, dark creatures, and mythical monsters relatable feelings and strong motivations to make them protagonists, something that's still rare and underestimated in today's film and game industry. On the journey to make writing her profession, which took her through 4 different countries and 7 different cities in the past decade, she met her writing partner, Savannah Thompson. One day, in unexpected events, they came up with the epic story about a demon and a dark elf searching for revenge. From then on, the dark fantasy saga Souls of Saira became their darling, and they created the content powerhouse SAVANA Creations. Now for Savannah's bio. Born in Edmonton, Alberta, Savannah has been involved in the creative writing scene since 2012. Having attended MacEwan University for their creative writing program, she published her first short story in the school's collective, then fled to Vancouver to attend the Vancouver Film School. Enrolling in their screenwriting program, she focused primarily on television writing as well as features. Although originally her main genre was drama, it has evolved into comedy with a love for both satire, parody, and slapstick. Currently, she is working on a sitcom series, 2 animated series, and of course, the Souls of Saira saga. She is also self-teaching herself the art of animation, as well as acting, something she has been passionate about since grade school. Besides her passion for animation and books, she works on short films, audio plays, feature films, TV projects, and games that vary in the genres from blood-filled action, dark fantasy, and thrillers to comedy and cute ghost stories. So, without further ado, let's head to Zoom. All right, so here we are with Savannah and CHRISTIN. I am so excited you guys are on the show. For anyone who has no idea, the 3 of us went to school together at Vancouver Film School, so it is really cool to be able to have some of my classmates on here. So how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm having a good day so far. What about you, CHRISTIN?
I'm good. I mean, my day is ending here in Europe. It's 11 p.m. But oh, that's Nola. It's here.
Yes, my cat is deciding to butt in during this interview a little bit, so I apologize. I apologize for that. But
okay, she's our honored guest.
Awesome. Well, alrighty. So I am, as I said, I'm super excited to have you guys here. So we're going to start off with 2 truths and a lie. So both of you have prepared a 2 truths and a lie. So you guys will, I'll try to guess which one is the lie. So Savannah, why don't you go first?
Okay. First one, I originally went to university for forensic psychology. Second one, my comedy is heavily influenced by the Trailer Park Boys. And the third one, my favorite rom-com is The Notebook.
Okay. All right. So this is difficult. I see how it is. Okay. Okay, I am gonna guess. I'm gonna guess that the third one's the lie.
Yeah.
Really?
It is, yeah. I mean, it's all right, but it's not my favorite. I forget, what was the name of that one that we watched in Kat's class that kind of had the same actors in it, but it was like that love story one where there's like a bunch of different characters. Steve Carell's in it.
I know it.
I know what we're talking about, but I don't remember what the movie's called, but that's probably my favorite.
Oh my god, I know it.
Is it? Oh gosh, which one was it? It's not Love Actually. No, it's not Love Actually.
It's something
no, the other one. Oh my god, how can we remember it? We wrote an assignment about it, like.
Yeah, we had it was like a 6-page assignment.
Stupid love or something
Stupid
like
crazy
that.
love, something like that.
Crazy stupid love.
Crazy stupid love. I think that was it. Okay.
It took a while, but we got there.
We got there eventually. Oh, I'm proud of myself for getting that one right. So, okay, Christine, you're up.
Okay, the first one. 10 years ago, a book saga inspired me to write my very first book. Second one, I own 1 dog and 6 chickens. And the third one, I've been to LA twice with my brother.
Okay. All right. Okay. This one's also really difficult for me. All right. Okay. I am going to guess. I'm going to guess that the second one is the lie.
No, it's a truth.
Dang it. Okay, which one's the lie?
The last one. I've never been to America. I always wanted to. Yes, I know. But yeah, I have 1 dog and 6 chickens.
See, I should know that. Like, I should know that. Oh, well, okay. Well, I mildly found that one. So, all right. So, well, I got one and I didn't get the other one. So, you know what? That's okay. All right. So, I would love to start off by talking about Souls of Saira, the book series. Yay! I am loving them so far. So I've read both of them, and so I really love where it's coming from. So what inspired you guys to write this as a book series?
Who wants to go first? I'll go first because I started talking already. What inspired us? It's gonna be Kelsey's D&D class, 100%. Like, we had never really focused on fantasy before. Like, it was always something that we thought was really cool, but we were just sitting beside each other making our character sheets, and it was like, come up with a cool character backstory. And we were like, what if we just did this? And we just started spitballing stuff, and then it has somehow turned into like this huge thing. So we got away from like the whole D&D thing and stuff like that, because we were like, okay, well, we don't want to write like D&D fan fiction. Like, we just want to do our own thing with fantasy. But we love it so much now. Like, it was such a fun class, and we were like, we could just create this awesome world and these awesome characters, nothing holding us back, like, just do whatever we want. And we just thought that was the best thing, and we really wanted to explore these random backstories that we came up with on some random day in February in a D&D class. And it just, yeah, it turned into a book series.
Love it. Christine, anything to add to that?
No, that's totally right. Like, it's just so funny because both of us must be like dramatic and dark backstories. Otherwise,
yes, you do.
Come up. So I know it's so, yeah. But it was really funny, yeah. Because first we wanted to turn it into a TV show, so we did like the pilot episode and a Bible and a pitch document. But you know, it's not so easy to sell a show. It doesn't happen every day normally. So yeah, like then we decided to do it like to. Like transform the episodes into short novels in a long book saga, and you know, just also to get the story out there and to build a fan base, which also can increase like the chances in the future that the book saga will be made into an animated show one day.
Definitely. That's awesome. I very clearly remember that D&D class for sure. Very much remember it. And I loved when you guys came into class and you were like, so our characters are connected. We were like, huh? Okay. And it was great. So I love that you guys have taken that a step further, because your characters are awesome and were very, very interesting. So, Souls of Saira has been produced under your production name, SAVANA Productions. So what are your future plans for the company? And, do you have any projects in the works? And Christine, I'll ask you this one first.
Yeah, of course, like Souls of Saira is our core project, because there are so many books to come in the saga. So that's like our main focus. But we also plan to publish individual stories, which means that Savannah will publish some of her stories, and I will publish other stories, probably as novels too. I think the big announcement would be that we want to start our podcast next month. Ooh. And if you want, you can be our very first guest.
Oh my gosh, I would be honored. Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I would love to. Oh, I'm so excited. That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. You guys have a ton in the works. That's great. Savannah, do you have anything to add? Anything else going on?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess like when we're thinking of like the big future picture, hopefully, of CHRISTIN Creations is right now it is for us to publish our work under a company name. It's all linked, but we're kind of hoping to one day be able to offer it as a service for other young writers and young people who want to use us, almost like a publishing house, I suppose. Like if that ever becomes something, like, it's hard to start that big of a business, and that's obviously like, crazy thinking, but just maybe like one day it could evolve into something where we are either producing things or publishing things and just really kind of be like a big content hub that isn't just focused on our work solely. And then also, I guess, like another one, we're trying to work on it. I'm having to self-teach myself, but we kind of want to release like a small TikTok animation series with the Souls of Saira characters. But I'm having to self-teach myself animation at this point. So it's coming together. We're hoping that could become something as well, so we can at least see our characters, moving and do it like talking to each other and such, because that was the original dream with them. But we'll see how that goes, I guess.
That's epic though. Self-teaching animation, goodness, that sounds, yeah, like dang. Well, that is awesome. I am so excited for all of that. It sounds like you guys have so many plans, and I'm so excited to see all of them come to life. So now it's time for the wild card question. Completely off topic from everything else. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Definitely LA.
Really?
I know that's like like that's a lot of people's answer, but it would definitely be LA, just for the screenwriting and the acting mainly, and just I'd love to live somewhere that's hot, and it just, I don't know, LA seems to have everything that I like. And if it isn't LA, it would probably be Prague in like the Czech Republic. I for some reason I've just always thought it was such a cool place, and I was like, that would be fun to just go chill there for a little bit.
Yeah, I was not expecting that second answer at all. That's awesome. Christine, how about you?
I have to say Bora Bora. Yes, really, because I think it's the most beautiful paradise I have seen on pictures so far. I haven't been there yet. But yeah, just to think to live the rest of your life on this beautiful Bora Bora island, like that will be, and to like still writing remote, of course, yeah, that would be like the big dream.
I think that definitely sounds like that would be some great inspiration for writing inspiration. Totally.
Right.
Those are much more creative answers than I could have given. It's a good thing I'm not asking myself that question, because I would have no idea. So, all right, moving right along, we are going to jump into memory association. So the way memory association works is I have a random word generator. Yes, my phone is attached to the portable charger because it was almost dying. I'm going to pull up a random word. I'm going to generate a random word, and we are all going to say the first memory that we are willing to share that comes to our head when we hear this word. It can be anything you want to share, whatever you think of when you hear this word. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Wait, at the same time, all of us?
No, we'll go separate one by one.
Okay.
So I'll have you guys, like one of you go first, and then I'll share mine as well. So, all right, our word is, oh, wow, what a wonderful one. All right, our word is youth.
I will say, if I think about it, it would be like the teenager years, and going out and partying, which not possible right now. But yeah, clubbing, partying with your friends, drinking some drinks, 1 or 2 or 3. That's like the best years.
What you think of? Savannah, how about you?
Mine was more like specific memories, I guess. Like I immediately went to high school, and it was memories, I guess, of like lunch hours with this friend that I had there, where we would go to Tim Hortons that was near my high school and constantly feed this like really fat seagull that we named Hans. And he was like funny, and he was always there, and he was great. And then there was like this 3-legged rabbit that we had. I don't know why there were so many of these weird animals outside this high school, but we just kind of like chill with them. And then like end up not going to our next class because we're busy hanging out with the loud seagull and the 3-legged rabbit. But that's definitely probably the first memories that came to my head with youth.
I love that. For mine, I thought of even younger, I was probably like, and I only remember this because it was told to me. I don't remember it actually happening. But my mom was like in the shower upstairs, and my mom, she had told us, my brother and I, she was like, don't open the door for anyone. I don't care if it's a friend, I don't care whoever, just don't open the door. So one of my brother's friends from like up the street came down and was asking if we could play. And so we were like, no, we can't. But my brother ended up opening the door and going outside, and then the door was locked. And so I, at the time, didn't know that. And I was like, Brayden, like, you were not supposed. I went outside to yell at him, and then we both locked ourselves out, and I was a wreck. I was so upset that I was like, why did I do that? So I don't know what that says about my childhood, if that's the first traumatizing thing that came to my head. But yeah, I just thought of that, like, why didn't I just stand in the door frame? I don't know. I was like 3, 4, so at least there's a little bit of an excuse.
Yeah.
But I'm liking yours a lot better. Christine, I have to say, you definitely have more experience in the partying world than I ever did, because that sounds like my worst nightmare. So
Come to Sweden. I teach you something, I guess.
oh wow, that would be, I can imagine that, just being like, all right, I'm going to Sweden because Christine is going to teach me how to get along with people, and when the pandemic is over, it'll be interesting. This water kind of tastes like soap. That was completely random, but it kind of does. So as I said earlier, we were all together in the Writing for Film, TV, and Games group at VFS. Whoop whoop, WR62s represent. So I want to ask a few rapid fire style questions about these. So whatever's the first that comes to your mind when I ask these questions, which I'll switch off. So like I'll say like, you go first, then you go first, because that way we don't get super confused. So first question is, what is your favorite part about writing a script? Christine, you go first.
To add fade out in the end.
Nice. Adding fade out. All right, Savannah, how about you?
Definitely as much character development as possible. I get way too obsessed with the characters, and it's like, oh, maybe I should get back to actually writing the script, because now I'm figuring out what happened to them when they were 5 years old, even though they're like 27 in the script. It has nothing to do with the story. But it just, I don't know, definitely characters.
No, I love that. It's great. All right, hardest part about writing a script. Savannah, you go first.
I guess the beginning. Probably like when those first pages really matter the most. It's like, this has to hook your reader. And so that is probably the most difficult, being like, oh, like, even though I know like the middle and the end are going to be really cool, like, is the beginning enough to get people to still be interested in continuing to read the 100 so pages, or pilot, whatever that is. I'm struggling with that right now, definitely.
Yes, that is definitely very difficult. Christine, how about you?
I think to do research about films you have no idea about. Like in my current project, for example, the protagonist must get secret files and information from the FBI. How do you do that? I don't know. Like, she's no hacker, like she can't work into the FBI and just download some files. Like, and there's like no step to step, like, on the internet how to do it. So that's the most difficult thing, in my opinion.
Definitely. Yeah, you can't just Google how do I break into the FBI, or else that would be slightly concerning. All right. Craziest moment at VFS. Savannah, you go. Oh, wait, Savannah, you went first last time. Christine, you go first.
Definitely when I chose the game stream and everybody was so surprised. It was so funny. Nobody expected it.
That was a bit of a surprise. You're right. Everyone was kind of like, oh, okay, but you nailed it in the game stream. So, Savannah, how about you?
Craziest moment, probably that time when we had to do our like character monologues for our like antagonist, and I went up there and was like that really trashy dad and started hitting on Christine and just being an all-out terrible person for like 15 minutes. That was probably the weirdest thing I've done there.
That was yes, that did happen. Wow, that brought back a memory. All right, last question here. Biggest difference between writing a script and writing a book? Savannah, you go first.
the filler, 100%. Like, you know, it was hard to go back to writing like novels and books when you were so used to kind of getting to the point, like with scripts where it's like you don't have a lot for action description. So now to jump back into that and be like, it's not just dialogue really. And like now you have to talk about emotions and everything, because back before it was like, oh, don't tell the actors how to like do it, where now it's like, well, your characters aren't going to be actors. Like you have to tell the audience what exactly is going on with them, all their inner thoughts, all of that. And so definitely having to switch back into that mode of putting in so much more information that you weren't really used to putting in before.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a big change. Christine, how about you?
Yeah, the same, like the action description and inner thoughts. You know, in a script, you are not allowed to have a lot of action descriptions. In a book, it must be really detailed. Just as you're not allowed to have any like inner thoughts in a script, but you need them in a book, you know? Like that's like two really different things. And I don't know what I like the most. I don't know.
It's just so different. I think it's so very different from each other that yeah, picking a favorite is difficult because they're so different. So all right, that's the end of the rapid fire questions. So next up, could you give some advice to those that are watching? This can be career advice, life advice, whatever bit of advice you would give to people. Let's Christine, I'll have you go first.
Okay, so maybe is someone watching who is or wants to be a screenwriter. So my advice would be to never stop trying and never stop creating stories, and to find a really good and skilled workshop group. You know, like people who already have experience in the field. You know, to rewrite the stories as much as possible. Like even if it takes like 6 months or more to get the first draft done, and 6 months or more to get like the following drafts done. Like that's totally fine. Like that's actually how it's supposed to be, kind of. So you know, you get more and more experience, which will help you to like create the next script like in a better way. But so like never stop trying, and it just takes a lot of time. Like be patient, kind of.
Wholeheartedly agree with that. Savannah, how about you?
Okay, I guess we're gonna get into some like deep life advice
I
that
love deep
is
life
a
advice.
bit similar, I guess, to Christine, but it's mostly like don't listen to that whole stigma that, you know, pursuing a career in anything artistic or creative is like a waste of time, that, you know, oh, go into a career that is more like set, you have that 9 to 5, all that just because you're guaranteed to have a job. Like that's no way to live it. That's not how you want to live. So if you want to be a writer, you want to be an artist, you want to be any of that, it's your life, and you shouldn't let anybody try to convince you that that isn't going to work out for you, because the only way that you're going to find out if that's going to work out for you is to try it. And I guess a little extra here, I'll give you the best advice that I think that Kelsey ever gave me when I went to him for like a mentorship.
Yes,
And I was
Kelsey.
like, I'm scared to go and like, you know, pitch to people, and like, what if they don't like me? What if they think that I suck? All that other stuff. What if I offend them somehow? And he's like, don't be afraid of that at all. He's like, you could go walk into some producer's office and start punching holes through the wall and screaming whatever you want. And the worst that they can do is tell you to get out, and they're calling security. Like there's nothing that's going to happen to you otherwise. And, you know, whatever. So like take that chance and just don't be afraid to really pursue what you want to do in life, because you're afraid of rejection or, you know, disappointed family members or really any of that, because it's your life and you got to do what you got to do with what time you have.
I wholeheartedly agree with that too. Kelsey gives out some great advice, as I always say. Kelsey, for anyone who's confused, Kelsey was one of our teachers at VFS who, if you ever need a crazy story, go to Kelsey. He has plenty. Yes, I love that. Both of those things, wholeheartedly agree 100%. So when things get tough, you know, when things get really difficult, what pushes you to keep going and follow what you love? So Savannah, I'll have you go first.
I want to give you like a heartfelt answer that's like, oh, like, you know, just keep moving, be happy. But it's mostly spite my family members. I don't like to say that out loud. But I just, not like my dad, my mom, they're all so supportive. But just, it kind of relates to my last one, where you have like those people that are kind of like, oh, you know, you can always come home. You can always give up and just go back to university. And it's like, no, you know what? I'm going to go as far as I possibly can with this, just so I can come back and be like, you know, look who made it, even though you told me that I couldn't. And that's definitely what keeps me going.
Hey, spite is a great motivator. Like,
it is.
I can be very petty, and spite is a great motivator. Christine, how about you?
Well, yeah, my answer is a little bit different, but it's also about family. But it's like my family, because they're really supportive and they would never let me quit, because they and I invested too much time into the educations and the projects. So there's no way they would see me throw all of that away. Um, so they would support me and try to help me to stay on this track, kind of. And I guess, like my friends, Savannah would always help me in dark times. Friends are really important. And I think, like, you have to think about where you want to be in 5 years. And you won't quit today if you see yourself still being a screenwriter in 5 years, you know? Like, really to think about the future, and like, don't give up if you have one bad day. I also, like, we all have bad days, and then I eat some chocolate and watch Netflix like the whole day. But then the important thing is to go back to work like the other day, you know, and with like new like energy and a new mindset. And I think that's easy if you do something you like.
Yes, I think that wonderful. Both of those tidbits of advice, wonderful. Very different, but or not advice, but answers different, but wonderful all the same. So last question here. Where can people follow you? Not only Savannah Creations, but you yourselves personally. Where can people follow along with what you do? So Christine, I'll have you go first.
Yeah, like to begin with, Savannah Creations, like Savannah Creations and Souls of Saira we are everywhere. Like mainly we post every like links and updates and promotions, and like we put on Amazon on our Instagram page. But we are also on Twitter. We have our own homepage. And personally, I am on Twitter, but I don't really use it. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, I once had like a TikTok account, but I got too addicted, so I had to cancel it.
TikTok is quite addicting. I just got it a few days ago, and thankfully I haven't fallen into that territory yet, but I've got to make sure I don't. So all of that will be in the description. Savannah, how about you? Where can people follow you?
Again, like the whole Souls of Saira, Savannah Creations thing, but like personally, I'm mostly on Instagram, Gasparo the Despero, periods in between like the different words. That's mainly where I kind of update all my progress, everything like that. And then I guess TikTok under the same name, but there's not a whole ton on there, but I'm hoping to maybe get a bit on there. I don't know. It's intimidating, but definitely Instagram for now.
Awesome. Yes, all of that will be in the description below. So for anyone watching, if you would like to follow Savannah or Christine, as well as Souls of Saira and Savannah Creations, it is all in the description below. So thank you guys so much for being on the show. I am so happy to have had you guys here. And yeah, so thank you again. I am going to click end on this recording in about 2 seconds. So for the video, we are going to head out of Zoom. Thank you all so much again for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed. This is also going to be the time when you realize that I film my outros right after I film my intros because my cat is still on my lap. Once again, if you like what you saw here today, please consider pressing the subscribe button and hitting the notification bell so you can know when we post, and you can follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. If you would like to follow Savannah, Christine, or I, all of our social media is in the description box below. Next week's guest is going to be the amazing Jonathan Rome, who is a filmmaker as well as a writer who is currently working on a few different projects. So I'm really looking forward to his vlogs and his interview, and I hope you are too. Thank you all so much again for watching, and we will see you next Tuesday.